Hello everyone, this is Wrestling Fan Talk here. So in this video I wanted to talk about Sting, but specifically I wanted to talk about Wolfpac Sting. Now I think as wrestling fans, when we go back to the WCW days and we're asked, who's the greatest babyface in WCW history? I would guess that most people are going to say Sting. And with good reason. He was the top babyface in that company for many years. Lots of classics in the early 90s with Ric Flair, Vader, Lex Luger, and moving forward, obviously you had Crow Sting come into the picture, and that storyline with the NWO in the mid-late 90s was golden. But we get to this period in 98 where Sting becomes Wolfpac Sting. And it was very... I think a lot of people have come not to like it. I think it's very polarizing. First off, it happened on June 1st, 1998, on an episode of Monday Night Nitro. And this was at the height of the Monday Night Wars. So I think Wolfpac Sting gives fans, older fans certainly, a nostalgic feeling that makes them happy. Reminds them of that time in 1998, that time where the Monday Night Wars was happening. And I think Wolfpac Sting brings about those feelings we have of when we think about things growing up that made us happy, that makes us nostalgic, as I said. But from a booking point of view, late 96, all throughout 1997, Sting was in a heated feud with the NWO, the New World Order. And for Sting to associate himself with the NWO, even if it is a babyface faction, even if the Wolfpack was meant to be the babyface NWO, I feel like it's character assassination of Sting. I feel like that kind of made him not as special. You know, when we look back at that Crow Sting starting in fall of 96 and going through 97 into early 98, we look at an individual character by himself that's special. He's unique. He's his own entity. Now, obviously, I believe many fans know this, some may not, but the Crow Sting originated, the idea came from Scott Hall in a booking meeting, but it was based off the movie The Crow earlier that decade about an anti-hero who, I've never seen the movie, but I believe he lost his fiancée. He might have died, and he was brought back to life, and he, for the purposes of revenge, and he wore this face paint as he went after the bad guys. I've never actually seen the movie myself, but the Sting character was based off that, and the motives and actions of Crow Sting were reflective of that. And it was unique, and it was different. And he was this real dark, anti-hero sort of character whose morals and values were screwed over. They were messed with. They were different. He fit into that anti-hero sort of character who had good reasons for what he was doing. He wanted positive outcomes, but he didn't always do the right thing. You know, a babyface walking in with a baseball bat to hit people wasn't typically sort of babyface behavior. A babyface that didn't cut, exciting, loud promos wasn't babyface behavior. He was just silent, sitting up in the rafters, looking down. He was different, unique. But then he became Wolfpac Sting. And when he became Wolfpac Sting, he got loud and fun again and started getting hyped up. But it changed him. It made him not as special. And him wearing the NWO colors is like... It's like Batman... It's like Batman joining the Jokers or something. It's like Superman deciding to team up with Lex Luthor. I almost said Lex Luger there, I don't know why. Point is, Sting wearing the NWO colors is character assassination. And it's interesting. We think about storytelling, long-term, long-form storytelling, year over year. Like a book, like a big book. Like if you read Lord of the Rings, a big long book, but that's over an overarching saga. You got Fellowship of the Ring, you got The Two Towers, you got Return of the King. It's all part of one massive saga. And when we think about Sting wearing the NWO colors, or NWO just in general, it's character assassination. He would never do that. It messes up the story of it, in my opinion. It's like you go back to the Attitude Era, and we reminisce and we think about Austin versus McMahon, starting in '97. And when we watch the Attitude Era back on TV, when we stream it, we watch those clips, whether it be on Peacock or YouTube, and you go from '97 to '98 to '99, 2000. The overarching saga of the Attitude Era was the McMahon-Austin feud. Well, if we look at the Attitude Era ending, and many of us fans say that it ended at WrestleMania 17. And how did that end? Well, Jim Ross said it best himself. Steve Austin is shaking hands with Satan himself. Steve Austin walked off with Vince. Kind of ruins the whole book. Kind of ruins the whole saga when you think about it. And I feel like that's the same thing with Wolfpac Sting. It gives us those nostalgic, happy feelings of 1998. Back when we were maybe younger. Or maybe you weren't even born yet. There's a good chance you weren't born yet. But it gives us those feelings of being young again. And it makes us happy. And it makes us think about those times. But when we think about it, really think about it, Sting would have never put on an NWO shirt. Never. It didn't even make sense. Kevin Nash and Macho Man Randy Savage, and even Conan, who were wearing the Wolfpack shirts at the time, who had joined the faction, they were part of the NWO Black and White that had been tormenting WCW, that Sting was fighting against just a year before. It didn't make sense for him to wear those colors. So, to close this video out, I think when we go back and we look at that, it's good to have those nostalgic feelings, but if we're objective, it's not great booking, I don't think. But this is all for this one. Wrestling Fan Talk out.